Welcome back to the Ball on the Line podcast. In this episode, we're going to be talking about contenders and pretenders, ranking teams, not ranking, but basically talking about some teams that have, um, some have been surprising a lot of people and some have been, uh, the steady teams overall this season. We're going to talk about if they're contenders or pretenders since the playoffs are approaching really, really fast. So let's get right into it. We're going to start off with the team in the Western Conference who is currently the seventh seed, the Dallas Mavericks. Are they contenders or pretenders?
Um, they're pretenders. I don't see them winning a championship this season or even coming close to winning it.
Okay, wait, let's do this. Let's do this.
Yeah.
When we tell if they're contenders or pretenders, give your estimate of how far do you think they can go.
So I'll just restart from the beginning.
Yeah,
Hudson, you cut it out. Okay. I think
go.
they're pretenders. Okay, I know. I think they're pretenders because I don't see them going anywhere far in the playoffs. I don't see them coming close to winning a championship. They can possibly make it to the second round, but I don't see it happening.
I don't think they're pretenders, but I don't think they're contenders. Like, if I had to choose one, I would choose pretenders because, they're a 7 seed, and that's for a reason. They're gonna most likely. I think they can get the 6 seed, and they're gonna play the Clippers. But I think it could be a decent series, maybe 6 games like last year. But Clippers are a lot better than last year, unless Paul George chokes. So I'm thinking a 5-game series. So I think they're a first round exit, no matter if they're the 6 or the 7 seed.
You know I love my white boys, but they're going to be a first-round exit, so they're pretenders.
Yeah, they're going to be a first-round exit. As Luka Doncic is great, but about to be a first-round exit again.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're contenders. I think Porzingis' health is a big X factor. He went out the other day. I don't know what the status of his injury is, but he seems to be banged up a lot. So if he's not 100%, I don't really see how that team can go far. And even with him, they're not, that amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna also say that they're pretenders. Definitely first round exit. Porzingis looks like he's gonna be out for some more time, so it's not looking good.
All right, so wait, sticking with the Mavericks, anyone feel free to answer this question. Out of the top 6 right now, the Jazz, Suns, Clippers, Nuggets, Lakers, and Trailblazers, are you guys confident in the Mavericks to knock off any of those teams? And if so, which ones?
They could beat.
They could beat the Blazers.
Yeah, that's it.
I could see them beating the Jazz in a 7-game series. Who do the Jazz have to guard Luka?
Yeah, that's possible.
Okay, I'll tell you right now, Nuggets is a chance too because
Jamal's out,
guard thing, yeah, and Will Barton.
And that's true.
Nuggets are fucked, but Nuggets are first round exit.
If Jamal was healthy, then I don't see it happening. But
let's move on to the Nuggets. What do you guys think about the Nuggets?
Well, I mean, since they're the 4 seed, I don't see them going up, and I don't really see them dropping either. So they're gonna have to play a team like the Lakers, and I just don't see that happening at all. So they're not pretenders, but they're gonna be a first round exit, which it's a pretty big drop off from last season since they got to the Western Conference Finals. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're pretenders, but they've been kind of attacked by injuries. But yeah, they're a first round exit for sure. The Lakers are going to sweep them, especially with no Jamal Murray. That's tough for them. He's the X factor for them.
But are we sure the Lakers are going to be 5 though?
Yeah, I'm sure the Lakers are going to be 5. The Trailblazers suck. The Mavs are
the Mavericks are currently on a 2-game winning streak.
We're going to play the Mavericks tomorrow, which is a big game.
I will say if the Mavs win tomorrow, they'll be 1 game behind the Lakers.
1.5 games, actually.
No, it'll be 1 because
right now they're 2.5. No, right now they're 2.5. And if you win,
okay, then it'll be 1.5. That's 1.5 is still actually pretty small.
Well,
and considering Anthony Davis is still on a minute restriction.
Yeah, I don't care if the Lakers. I just don't want the Clippers to play the Lakers to play the Clippers the first round because that's my entertainment gone in the first round. I want it to be
Who are y'all taking in a series between the Nuggets and the Mavericks?
Mavs. I'm taking them. If KP's healthy or decent, if he's 80% the Mavs, because I think Luka's a lot better than Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic is amazing, but
how would the Mavericks and Nuggets play though in the first round?
I don't know about that.
They can't play in the first round. I don't think.
Yeah, they can't exactly. So.
Actually, they.
No. If the Mavericks move up to 5, then they can. That's what I was.
Okay, but they're like a few games behind the Blazers, aren't they?
Lakers won't get passed by the Blazers.
No,
No,
I think they'll.
they have the same record except the Blazers are the tiebreaker.
Okay, Blazers
And
are
also,
going
the
to
Blazers
drop
have a
this
really
guy.
hard Blazers have a really hard schedule,
And they're pretty
Mavs
ass.
have-
Blazers
They're
are
on a
dropping
Blazers are on a 3-game losing streak right now.
That
But,
too, yeah.
Okay, it's actually Ipstar. Go ahead, Ip.
When you're led by a so-called MVP candidate, when he has a BMI of over 35%, you're not going anywhere. The real best player on that team tore his ACL a couple weeks ago. And I'm standing by that until the day I die. They're Contenders, obviously, if you didn't get that vibe.
Okay, yeah, they're going to be a first-round
Ip is a
exit.
delusional Embiid fan.
We all know that, but the Nuggets are going to be a first-round exit. It'll be a competitive series with the Lakers. I'll say those 6 games. I don't think it'll be a sweep, but I'll say 6 games, maybe. Because, or actually, no, I'll go 5.
How are the Nuggets going to win more games than they did last season without Jamal
I
Murray?
said 5 games, you retard!
You edit that.
Go ahead, Seahawks.
I might pick this team against the Mavericks if they win, bro. But apart from like the Mavericks and Trailblazers, I don't really see them beating any other team. If they play the Lakers in the first round, I don't see them beating the Lakers or the Clippers or Suns or Jazz for that matter.
I mean, the Nuggets definitely could be contenders with Jamal and Monte Morris just got Monte Morris was injured and Will Barton just got injured too. So this team definitely could be a contender with Murray. I think that they could beat the Mavericks even with Porzingis having a better chance without him. But they definitely could beat the Blazers, and literally any team with no center, it's a possibility to beat with Jokic.
Well, Clippers have no center. Does that mean you take the Nuggets over the Clippers?
There's a chance for sure.
Serge Ibaka is not a center nowadays.
Bro, shut up.
He's
Literally,
the
shut
worst
up.
one.
The,
He's the worst one.
the Clippers would sweep the Nuggets. This is a fact.
Thank you, Ip.
David, out of the top 5 teams, top 5 teams, Clippers have the worst center. I'm counting AD as a center.
Okay. I was about to say.
Cap,
Kawhi the center.
cap.
It's
I call
Kawhi.
cap.
Counting AD is a bitch.
Well, no. If you're counting AD as a center, then he's not capping.
Okay, yeah.
Cap.
But if you take
you're
AD,
counting as a center, but AD's a power forward, so I'm still calling cap.
He ends games at center though. He plays majority center. So
Still calling cap.
Yeah, well, he hasn't played a game in the past
he literally
50,000
played
days.
yesterday. He literally
Yeah,
played
yeah.
yesterday.
Oh no.
Zubac.
Actually, I don't know.
Zubac-
The way
Yeah,
he was playing-
Zubats is better than
Nurkic?
AD.
Are we talking about the
Zubac is
Blazers
better than
too or
AD.
no?
No, not the Blazers. I
Zubac
mean,
is a
Nurkic is
different
better
beast.
than Ibaka.
Okay, let's move on to the next team.
all right, let's talk about the Clippers. Let's talk about the Clippers. To be your Clippers fan,
Big time contenders with me. Big time. I don't see
I
this
don't-
team.
you see
Yeah, what's
like
up?
you see the Clippers are capable of beating all these teams right now.
Yes. I see the first championship in 51 years coming this year.
So in your mind, should the Clippers be the favorites in the West?
I think so, but obviously since there's another team in LA that has historically been better and has way more fans, they're going to be underlooked. And also because of last year's performance, people are just going to try to disclude the Clippers from the title conversation when we all know that they should be there. So I think that this team is very talented. They have the best three-point shooting team in the league. They also have the best half-court offense. If they get into transition, then you're screwed because they're going to be firing on all cylinders. So I think that this team can take it home.
All right. When I say this, I don't want to be interrupted by anyone. Okay, wait for me to finish. So the Clippers are gonna probably end the season the most efficient offensive team in NBA history. I think, something like that, or most efficient 3-point shooting team in NBA history. They shoot 42% as a team, which is insane. They have 2 players who are playing like superstars. They have 1 certified choker, but I think Paul George will play good in the playoffs this year. I don't think it's possible for him to choke again because he's you have to be really shit to choke again. But with that being said, I think the Clippers will go to 7 games with the Suns because Chris Paul will expose their guards, and I'm not even sure if Patrick Beverley is going to be back. Okay, but who? This is a rhetorical question. Don't answer. what team can beat a number one offense? The number one defense. The number one defense without AD and LeBron. So if one team can take the Clippers down in the West, it's 100% the Lakers. But I think the Suns have a chance too. So I'm taking the Lakers in 6. Actually, no, maybe 7. I think it can be a 7-game series. But Suns can also beat them. Clippers are contenders for sure, though.
Before you say anything, I just want to say something. Number one defense allowed Jaylen Brown to shoot 85% from the field and 40 points. Just saying, number one.
Wait, I'm sorry. No.
All right, I'm gonna play this one game. Now I'm gonna give my take on the Clippers. David, you're gonna really enjoy what I have to say. They're the best team in the West. I don't think it's close. Yeah, they have LeBron, but what happens when LeBron plays Kawhi? We all know. We'll look at 2014. Who's gonna guard Paul George on that team? No one can. Not a soul on the Lakers can guard Paul George. LeBron can guard Kawhi all he wants. Paul George is still there. Yeah, all this, playoff P sucks. Playoff P sucks. That's just a bad stretch of games. Everyone has those bad stretches of games.
Who the fuck is guarding AD?
The Clippers are Serge Ibaka. AD
Exactly, Serge Ibaka.
AD is a guard trapped in a 6'11" body. AD is a fucking pussy, dude.
If you're actually a fucking
Clippers are winning the goddamn West. I don't care about any of this.
Yeah,
LeBron's finals streak is ending this year.
No. Shut up. My turn.
I completely agree with
It's my
everything Ip
turn.
said.
His
I
finals,
completely agree with
final
everything.
streak was 1, by the way. So
That it's my turn.
Yeah.
And let me say something. I agree with Ip. I think the Clippers are going to the.
Yes,
finals.
sir.
No, I don't think the Lakers have enough chemistry to do anything in the playoffs, considering LeBron was hurt. Anthony, you know what? We all clowned Paul George last year for choking in the playoffs. This year's choker in the playoffs will be A. Disney.
Oh my god, you're actually
Because he's not going to be in Disney this year. He's not going to be.
A.
Guess
Dickies.
what, bro? A. Disney.
Yo, you guys I'm gonna come back to this video. All of you picking the Clippers. You guys are fucking clowns.
No,
Bro,
okay.
You're the
Go
LA
ahead,
G3
go ahead,
team.
go ahead. No,
We run LA now.
Dude, let me say something, Kim. Let me say something. You couldn't guard Jaylen Brown. So how do you expect to guard Paul George?
Bro, shut the fuck. You guys are like the 10
No,
seed now.
really?
Shut the fuck up.
No. How do you guard Paul George? You're gonna throw Alex Caruso on Paul George?
Contavious Caldwell Pope, Mr. House Monitor on his ankle while playing basketball.
Dennis Schroeder on Paul George? Please have at it, and Paul George will expose the Lakers guard. Well, no. You're gonna throw Kyle Kuzma on Paul George? I'd love to see that. George would just expose him.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm gonna
Kawhi might get locked up by LeBron, but nobody's stopping Paul
Kawhi can't get
George.
locked. Even Dorian's laughing at that. Kawhi can't get locked up
you
by
guys are
LeBron.
fucking. You guys are bumping David's ego now. When he loses, it's gonna be even worse. That's gonna be so. You guys are gonna lose to the
No.
Suns again.
No, the Clippers.
Not again.
The Clippers are gonna beat the Suns, and then they're gonna beat the Lakers. And the story, the Lakers are going to be a conference finals exit. No doubt in my mind. And you know what? Don't even be surprised if they lost to the Jazz. All right, Donovan Mitchell will be back. He's gonna be
Is
saucy.
this a joke? Who's going LeBron? Royce O'Neal? Bro.
Joe Ingles.
Okay, listen. This is my thing.
Yeah, how dare you disrespect Jingle
Before
Joe?
Suaz goes, I have no problem with someone picking the Clippers, but the reasoning you guys gave, except for David, is atrocious. Ip said, you guys say we can't guard Paul George. We can. Paul George is basically a superstar. I'm not gonna say he's a superstar, but he's almost there. He's a superstar. You're not guarding Paul George. Bro, if you guys are acting like Paul George is a 15 point per game scorer and he's only going to play good in the playoffs. No, this guy's been good and people can't guard him. You can put the best defender in the NBA on him and he's still going to probably drop 30 on you. So it won't matter.
actually, Bam held him to. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Okay, shut up with your Bam stuff, okay?
Bam couldn't guard AD. Bam couldn't guard AD.
He held AD 3 for 14 in that game. What are you talking about?
What about the finals? That AD averaged 30.
I'm talking about the finals. He didn't play AD this year.
I don't fucking care. You suck. The fucking Heat. Bro, remember you said don't talk about the Heat anymore. You lost to the fucking Hawks without training.
No, but you said no one can clamp up Paul George and not have an examples.
We don't have Bam. I'm not going to put Bam on Paul George. All right, so
Is it my turn? Okay.
Clippers, yeah.
Okay. I think the Clippers will beat the Lakers, but I think it's because of the health. I'm not convinced that they're 100% on that team. I still have to see it. Maybe it's just rushed from AD, but the Lakers do have a history of rushing players back from injury. So,
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not convinced that the LeBron and AD are gonna come back and guns blazing. And by the time they come back, they're gonna have to build some chemistry. So I actually think the Clippers will have a harder time with the Suns and the Lakers, but they can beat both teams.
Can I
But
say
I
one
just think that what
I think AD may not be 100%, but I'm 100% sure LeBron will be 100%. And but we just with LeBron alone, even if AD doesn't play, we can beat the Nuggets. I think it's only important to have AD against the Suns and the
no,
Clippers.
y'all can beat the Nuggets. I'm not worried about. I'm talking about the Clippers though.
Yeah, we'll see. I would love to see the Clippers in the conference finals. It's gonna be a good series.
All right, Hudson, what you think?
I'm sure my opinion isn't as reasonable, but I mean, any team in the West could go either way, but the Clippers are definitely contenders. I don't see them as pretenders. I don't see them as a team that'll win the championship this year, but I don't see them as pretenders. And I think that they are contenders with the chance to come out of the West. But if everybody can stay healthy, then because this season's just been an ambush of injuries. If everybody can stay healthy, then the Clippers definitely have a chance to come out of the West just because all the recent injuries, like the Nuggets, beat them last year, but they won't have their main threat. So I think that the
Embarrassing
Clippers
last year.
definitely have a chance.
All right, let's move on to the Phoenix Suns. What do you guys think about the Suns? Contenders or pretenders?
I don't think the Suns are either pretenders or contenders. I don't think they're pretenders because I don't see them choking because nobody thinks that they're gonna do much in the playoffs. Like they could win a few series and they could put up a good fight, but I don't see them beating teams like the Clippers or Lakers. So they're like in between for me.
I think the Suns have the third best odds to come out of the West. So I don't think they can beat Philly or the Nets, depending on which one of them makes the finals, or the Bucks. We'll get to the Bucks. I'm pretty sure. But I don't think I think they could be contenders. They're Western contenders for sure, but I don't know if they're championship contenders.
Suns are pretenders. Just got home a couple nights ago from a fresh game at the Wells Fargo Center, and I saw the Sixers take the Suns all the way down to the last second when they were down 3 starters. So I don't know how the fuck this team's going to win a goddamn playoff series because they won't. And I love Mikal Bridges.
I saw Marcus Smart and Kemba
Can I say one thing?
Walker shut down Devin Booker. The
Can I say one
Suns
thing?
are pretenders.
Can I say one
I don't trust Devin Booker in a playoff series when he's being guarded by Paul George or Kawhi Leonard at all. I don't trust them. Everybody talks about Devin Booker is ready for the moment because he went 8-0 in the bubble. Yeah, 8-0 in regular season play. I get it. Each game was a must win, but it's against regular season teams. I just take it with a pinch of salt. The Suns are not legit. They'll probably lose in like 6 or 7 to the Clippers. They're a solid team, no doubt about it. But Chris Paul can only carry you so much, and Chris Paul has only been to the Western Conference once in his career, and it will stay that way this year.
All right, David, what you want to say?
No, never mind.
Okay, I feel the exact opposite way. I think the Suns are the most dangerous team in the West outside of the Lakers and the Clippers. I'm taking them more dangerous than the Jazz. I'm taking them more dangerous than the Nuggets, Trailblazers, Mavericks. Give me the Suns over all those teams. And the big reason is not even Devin Booker. It's because of Chris Paul. I think Chris Paul has a big chance. I don't want to keep bringing up the Heat, but I just see the comparisons between what the Heat did last year. I'm not saying they can make the finals, but Chris Paul has the chance to do what Jimmy Butler did last year with the Heat. Take a non-playoff team and turn them into a contender. And Chris Paul is a guy that can elevate a team like no other. Devin Booker will do his thing. I'm not worried about D-Book. I'm worried about DeAndre Ayton. That's the only guy I'm worried about on that team because there's some times where I've seen him miss some easy layups, be soft in the post with smaller guards on him. I want him to dunk over people. I want him to impose his will down there. all this turnaround fade in the post where you have a smaller guy on you is not going to cut it. So DeAndre Ayton's going to have to impose his will. But the reason, not only because of Chris Paul and Devin Booker, I love their wings. I think Jay Crowder, Mikal Bridges, and Cam Johnson, you can stick them on any if
OG
they play the
Anunoby is
Clippers.
better than Mikal Bridges.
All right, but no one cares about
Shut
him
up.
because he's not
That's
in the
so
playoffs.
false.
But you can stick any of those three on Kawhi and PG, and they'll give him a tough time if they need to in the playoffs. So I love this Suns team. I think they have everything that they need to be, in that contender mix.
Can I? So quickly, I also agree. I think the Suns are the third best team in the West. DeAndre Ayton plays like a pussy. Like he gets the ball in the post and he has like an open layup and he passes it. I think that's gonna be an issue for them. Hudson, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say DeAndre Ayton is not like it. He has like all the potential and all that. He was the number one pick and stuff, but he is not really proved to be that. And he's gonna have to improve if the Suns want to be contenders and win the finals. I don't think that DeAndre Ayton is going to be their starting center and do that right now. Maybe he'll change in the playoffs and become a playoff type of player. But we have not yet to seen that, so I don't think he's going to come into the playoffs and become that player. So I don't think that the Suns will be able to do it. But other than DeAndre Ayton, like Suha said, Crowder and Mikal and Cam Johnson, you could stick them on anybody. That's where I think that they could do stuff against the Clippers and Lakers. Not that they're better, but they have more of a chance to stop them than a team like I'm trying to think now. The Nuggets.
All right, let's go to East team right now. We'll talk about the 3 seed, the Milwaukee Bucks. Are they contenders or pretenders?
So like I've been like thinking that these Bucks team can go to the finals like past years and years and years, but after what I've seen, they're pretenders. They don't do much. They can get to the Western Conference Finals. They showed that, against the Raptors, and they choked it because Kawhi Leonard happened. So there's that. But I don't think they can win. I don't think they can make a finals. So I think they're pretenders.
He said Western Conference Finals. He meant to say Eastern Conference Finals.
My bad.
I think I'm going to be the only one that says this because there's a Philly fan, two Heat fans, and a Celtics fan. Yeah, I'm going to be the only one. The Bucks are actual contenders in the East, and I'll tell you why. They can definitely beat the Brooklyn Nets, and if they somehow they won't play Brooklyn until the conference finals. They would have to play Philly. Since Ben Simmons is ultimately just shit, and Joel Embiid can't guard Giannis. Let's be honest, he's not athletic enough. He's a great defender, but he can't guard Giannis. Giannis, the Bucks, if they get past Philly, will make the finals. Like if they can get past Philly, they'll definitely beat the Nets. Like no doubt, because Giannis will be in the rhythm. So I think they can be a tough out in the finals. They'll definitely be a tough out in the East. I think they're real contenders, and they're actually catching up right now. I think there's I don't know, depending on how Philly plays right now. The Nets are somehow still the 1 seed, but the Bucks can catch up maybe.
I'm going to save my fire and desire about the Sixers for when we talk about the Sixers, so I'm just going to not take anything Darian said too seriously, because believe me, I wanted to jump in and get pissed, but I didn't. I held myself back. And I'm actually going to give props to the Bucks. They are a good team. They are a contender. And then one thing Darian said that confused me is that he said they'll have to play Philly in the second round. After the Sixers play this game against the Bucks, I'm pretty sure they have one of the top 5 easiest schedules out of the remaining schedules.
Yeah, you're right.
Simmons is gonna get back. The 1 seed is Phillies. You're
right. All right, that's even better.
It'll be very interesting. I think it'll be Brooklyn against the Bucks in the conference finals, not conference finals, in the semifinals, and I think that series will finally be the telltale of who's one of the best teams in the East. And I'm really excited for it. I think the Bucks don't have a lot of weaknesses. They have shooters. They have one of the best, if not the best, penetrator in the NBA. And then everyone on that team can shoot lights out besides him.
Pause.
They have they have a huge like weakness though. Like their coaching is a weakness because
I don't think about it. I'm just thinking about players. Like, yeah, I could have said coaching, but this wasn't on my
I
mind.
think they give up a lot of threes, but yeah, I agree with you. I think they can beat the Nets.
Yeah, the Bucks are contenders. Whoever's next, talk about them.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree. I as much as I want Giannis to succeed, and I don't want him to become the next LeBron, like from 2003 to 2010 era. I don't want that to happen to Giannis because LeBron couldn't get himself to the finals, and the media just started.
He did
in
criticizing.
2007.
Yeah, they just started. I'm sorry. He
got swept though.
He couldn't do anything. All right, he couldn't do anything, and the media just criticized him for it. I don't want that to happen to Giannis, but let me tell you, the problem is they have Coach Bud I am trash holder as their coach. They're gonna play drop coverage with Brooke Lopez, and please, they're gonna try if they play drop coverage against Kevin Durant, against Kyrie Irving, against James Harden, they're going to get murdered. And I mean murder. It doesn't matter how many points Giannis scored. They're going to get murdered. I just don't trust their coaching. But, teams can, prove me wrong as before, but I just don't trust the Milwaukee Bucks this season. Their big three is not really a big three. Like Chris Middleton, do you really expect him to play well in the playoffs?
You're definitely wrong.
Do you really expect Drew Holiday to play well in the playoffs? I don't. Do you expect Giannis to hit his free throws in the playoffs? I don't. Okay, and that's all I gotta say. They will win their first round matchup. I just don't think they'll win their second round matchup, and that's why I think they're pretenders.
Okay, I agree with you, but like, I agreed with you till you started talking about Drew Holiday and them. That's when I was like, I don't know about that, but the Bucks, I don't know. I don't think the Bucks are that serious. And this is probably because of the last 2 years. I really don't think. I don't think they're. I think they're a good team. They're a cool team, but they lost a lot of depth. Well, they gained a little bit in PJ Tucker, but in the offseason, they did lose some depth, and their coaching is a big issue. It's not that drop coverage is cool. You can play that drop coverage, but the Nets are going to annihilate them. It's not only Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie. Landry Shamet and Joe Harris are going to get free cheese from that 3-point line. So you get those two going, and it's kind of hard to stop. Landry Shamet gave the Heat 30, and we couldn't even stop him. So if the Bucks play that drop coverage, it's kind of you're done against the Nets. And it's not only the drop coverage. If you play Giannis 36 minutes in the playoffs, you're not winning the series. And Budenholzer has done that. He's never played his starters. Giannis has max played 36 minutes in the last two eliminating series that he's been in. And their other big problem is their closer. I don't trust Chris Middleton to create his own shot when there's a big time bucket that's needed. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really trust this team. I think they have a lot of coaching issues. I think if the Sixers can definitely expose them with Ben Simmons back, because they have the personnel to build a wall if they need to around Giannis, and they're gonna make their shooters beat them. And they don't really have that shooting that they did. I know that last year they had Kyle Korver in them. I know they have DiVincenzo, but they don't have the same shooting that they did last year. So I think the Bucks will. I don't think the Bucks are contenders. Let me just say that. Let's move on. Let's move on to the Utah Jazz.
Doesn't Hudson have to go?
No, yeah, Hudson, go, bro. My fault. I completely forgot about Hudson.
Yeah, it's
You are
fine. Well, for the Bucks, like they're in the middle to me between contenders and pretenders. I would mostly consider them contenders. They have everything you could need, defense and offense, between Giannis, Middleton, and Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday being one of the best defensive guards in the NBA, and Giannis, obviously, but we saw Giannis get exposed in the playoffs last time. But just to put into fact that the one win that the Bucks had in the playoffs last year against a real team, so excluding the Magic in the first round, was without Giannis, or was it? I think that the Bucks actually Giannis got injured in the first half or something, and Chris Middleton dropped like 40 or 30. But yeah,
36.
yeah, something like that. But
Giannis was popping off though.
the Heat were the first team.
No, the
beat
Heat were up by like 10 but then when Giannis got injured,
Chris
Bucks went on a
Middleton
big
just
run.
took over. Yeah, I mean, obviously we haven't even seen like the full Chris Middleton because there's a superstar on his team, but they're not going to take Giannis like out of the playoffs and have Chris Middleton be the only one. So, the Bucks could be contenders. Just depends how their coaching works in the playoffs and whether their plan works or not.
Okay, we have 2 more teams left. I'm not even gonna ask about the Nets and the Lakers because everyone's gonna say contenders for them. Utah Jazz.
No.
What do y'all think about the Utah Jazz? Contenders or pretenders?
I think the Jazz are having an insane season. I think that they're a really good team, but I don't see them doing much in the playoffs. So I'm gonna say this only for one reason. I'll explain it. They aren't a bad team, and that's not why I'm calling them pretenders. But I'm calling them pretenders because they're having this amazing regular season that won't lead up to as much in the playoffs, like the Bucks have been in the last few seasons. That's the reason I say that they're pretenders.
I don't think that a team without a superstar can be a contender. This is in 2004, if that's like what you're gonna refer to, like the Pistons. I think it was 2004 when the Pistons won. I'm not like I was born that year, so I'm obviously not familiar with it. But I would say basically every team in the last 15 years have had a superstar, if you want to consider them a contender. The Jazz they're huge pretenders. They're a second round exit because they're gonna play the Lakers. And the Lakers will humiliate them. Like what the thing LeBron was fucking around with at the All-Star like draft, like that's no joke, man. Like the Jazz suck. Historically they've sucked. Like they just lost to MJ, now they're gonna lose. GOAT stuff. So yeah, the Jazz, they have no like they're a very well-rounded team, but they don't excel at anything. Maybe like they're nice. They have really good team passing. I'll give you that, but good defense stops that. And yeah, I think they're the 4th best team. On a good day, on a bad day, they're the 5th best team in the West.
The Utah Jazz. I absolutely love talking shit about the Utah Jazz. When the so-called best player on your team is the same guy who bitches and complains and cries about not getting a Rookie of the Year award, that's all you need to know about the team. Fucking Rudy Gobert, what does he do? He just sits there, fucking eats baguettes and blocks the occasional shot. Do that, Embiid. You can't. Who else we got on that team? Mike Conley, the 14 point per game All-Star? How the hell is that a thing? And then Bogdanovich. I'm a fan of Bogdanovich. He just sits in the corner and shoots threes. He's got that lack of melanin in his skin, you know what I mean? So, with all that said, the Jazz, I really could see them losing in the first round depending on who they get their matchup against. Like, if they somehow go against Dallas or the Warriors, I could easily see those teams beating the Jazz in the first round.
I think I'm going to be the only one to say this, but don't be surprised if the Jazz possibly lose in the first round if they play the Golden State Warriors. If they play the Warriors and Curry gets going in a few games and he can't be stopped, watch out. Jazz could be in big trouble. They're pretenders. But,
Steph, LeBron around 2, imagine.
I'm just saying, it is a possibility because Steph Curry is the greatest shooter on this planet. It's just a possibility. And honestly, I would rather see a Steph versus Bron round 2 series rather than a Jazz Lakers series. And I just wouldn't be surprised because I don't trust the Jazz. I love Donovan Mitchell, but I just don't trust the rest of that Jazz team. Like, do you really trust Jingle Joe to make his shots in a big time like series against the Lakers? Hell no.
Hell
Do you
yeah.
think? Okay, maybe Jingle Joe, but like, do you think Rudy Gobert is going to get his
Bro,
ass?
you must have forgot when he torched the Thunder.
Yeah.
He was,
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
The man was outplaying Paul George in
I
that
forgot.
series, bro.
I just
He was
realized
his
that.
father that series. I'll admit that.
Oh, I remember he
He
was
did
talking shit to
Wait, we
Paul
talking about-
George, bro. He
we
was
talking about-
outplaying him.
You're talking about Joe Ingles guarding LeBron? Is that what he said?
No, he's saying Joe Ingles making his shots.
No, I mean like Joe Ingles, like what just like. All right, never mind.
Oh, what I'm saying is that I don't trust the Jazz. End of story. All right. Jordan Clarkson gonna falter like always in the playoffs. Yeah, end of story. All right, moving on.
Tejas just thinks everyone in the playoffs are gonna choke, like every single player in the league.
I just don't trust the Jazz.
Wait, has Jordan Clarkson even
Taylor and Jalen Brown.
what?
Wait.
Anyways,
Except for Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum.
Wait, should I go or not?
if we're gonna talk about the Celtics, let me be very clear. All right.
We don't need to.
The Celtics are either second round exits or third round exits. All right.
He's a second round exit.
They're the first round exit, bro.
First
Alright, bro.
round exit to
Wait,
who?
wait.
The
Let's
Hawks,
move on.
if you play the Hawks, you're fucked.
Hell no.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Just on.
So if the Heat somehow get the 4th seed or the Knicks stay the 4th seed, Celtics aren't winning.
Have you seen the schedule for the Celtics coming up?
Bro, your ass.
Hornets.
You've seen the who else?
Tejas, the problem wouldn't be for the Celtics to they go up. Who cares if they go up? They're gonna be the 4th seed. They're gonna have to play whoever's the 5. They're definitely not getting top 3. Okay, doesn't matter.
Case closed.
Wait.
Celtics.
Okay, Utah Jazz. I've liked this team since the beginning of the season. I do not think they're contenders because I do not know if Donovan Mitchell has it in him to become a superstar. Which kind of pains me because Donovan Mitchell was one of my favorite players because he reminded me a lot of D Wade. Doesn't have that instinct like D Wade though. He doesn't have that mode. D Wade was a guy who, and don't even compare Donovan Mitchell to D Wade anymore. Stop disrespecting my guy. He's good, but he's no D Wade.
Like I think we're all forgetting what Donovan Mitchell did in the playoffs last year. Dude was insane. He was probably up until they got eliminated. He was probably the best player in the playoffs.
He did. Him and Jamal Murray were going off, 50-point games. Cool. But they were not consistent. That's the thing. There was one game where Donovan Mitchell would have 50, and then he would have 19. Right?
I'm pretty sure he had over 35 every game except for one.
No, he had a bad game. I'm pretty sure he had a bad game.
He had one bad.
And that was I'm pretty sure the bad game was the elimination one.
Maybe
y'all can fact it.
It was game 7. Game 7, yeah.
But the importance is Donovan Mitchell won't do that against a team like the Lakers. Their defense is too good. It was like he was having a field day against the
Jamal Murray.
You can't have a center. You can't have a center who's alive. I know he can screen assist and all that stuff, but he can catch lobs.
I'm pretty sure he has the most screen assists in the entire league, and he's the most
Lakers
what's it called?
I know he's first because Bam is second. I know Rudy Gobert leads it in screen assists by
I'm pretty sure there's a stat saying that the most plays created off screens was he was first. Not just assists, just plays in general created off a screen.
If he goes against Jokic is destroying his ass. I'm sorry, he cannot guard Jokic in the post.
Yeah, he can.
Well, I mean, I don't think he can protect the rim. If Jokic is at the rim, I don't think he'll do anything.
No, he can protect the rim if a guard is driving, right?
No,
if he's one-on-one against Jokic or AD, they're killing him.
If someone's backing him down, he can't block it.
Yeah, no. If they're backing him down, he can't. But if they're both at the rim, he can defend it well.
Not AD,
that's what I think.
AD's too athletic for Gobert.
Gobert's long though, so he can cover
the
area.
If Gobert gets switched, if Gobert can switch onto a guard, it's kind of dumb.
I think that nobody thinks that, but I think that everybody thinks that. But Gobert, if you watch the Jazz games, he's not a liability on guards. He's just not good.
I just remember that one series against James Harden.
Oh, well, that's James Harden. You can't that's James Harden. He's like
Yeah,
a top
well-
tier guard in the league, so you can't like.
Oh yeah, move on.
Not every team has a
Chris
change.
Paul did that shit to him too, and if they play the Suns,
Dennis Schroeder would sauce him too. He's quick as shit. Just move on.
I don't know if you guys remember that one game the Suns and Jazz played. I think it went to OT. Chris Paul, Rudy Gobert was not stepping up to those mid-range jump shots, and Chris Paul was knocking every single one of those down.
Because if Gobert's caught jumping, like they're going to the line, bro. If he's jumping, like you're fucked. No rim protection.
All right,
It's done.
Hudson, what do you think about the Jazz?
The Jazz, I think, could also go. I mean, Donovan Mitchell, he's injured. Not sure how he's going to come back fully because there's only 13 games left in the season. So it looks like he could be coming back just for the playoffs. So he won't be 100%. That
forgot
could be
the
a
man was
huge
injured.
factor. Does anybody know how Donovan Mitchell is out for?
I think it's 2 weeks.
It was the same injury as LeBron, right?
No. It wasn't a high.
No, definitely not.
I'm pretty sure it was who was it that they said it was a level 2? Oh, that was Trey. No,
It was Trey, yeah.
I think Donovan Mitchell's 2 weeks. I'll check right now.
Well,
I'm
pretty sure
forgot that he was injured too. I don't.
he's probably going to
the
be back
Jazz?
for the playoffs. I don't see how he's going to be back before that. But he probably won't be 100%, and that could be a factor depending on who they play. They could go on the first round if they play a team like
Home State.
they can probably beat the Nuggets. They can probably beat the Blazers. If they play a team like the Clippers or the Lakers, possibly in the first round, even a team like the Mavericks, I think that there's a chance that they could lose to them.
How the fuck are they gonna play the Clippers in the first round or the Lakers? What?
Yeah, I was about to ask. I was about to say, like, Hudson, what are you saying?
I'm just saying hypothetically, if they I don't think they're gonna. What are they? The 4 seed right now? They're the one. I'm stupid.
Yeah, I was so confused.
I'm stupid. No,
All right,
yes.
update
So
on Donovan
they're
Mitchell's
definitely not.
injury.
So they're probably gonna end up playing the Blazers or something, or the Mavericks or the Warriors possibly.
Whoever's the 8 seed in that playing game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell, I don't think it's that bad. They said he's gonna miss like several games. They didn't give like weeks, so I don't think it's that bad.
Okay, last team, Philadelphia 76ers. What do you guys think about them?
Okay.
Wait, stop. Time out. I'm going last.
All right.
Okay.
Go last.
Okay, this team, I think they're definitely not pretenders in my opinion. I think that they're contenders, but I can see them possibly making the finals. But like I said, I don't see them. I don't see a team beating the Clippers this season. I mean, I'm a bit biased, but I just don't see it. So I think they're definitely contenders. They have a really good team. Great defensive team, great shooting team, built well around Ben Simmons and Embiid. So I just want to say this. Be careful with Doc Rivers, because if your offense can't create for themselves, he doesn't really do much to help you. So there you go.
All right. The Clippers fan back at blaming the coach for Paul George and Kawhi having 0 points in against the Nuggets game 7. Everyone in the chat, not in the chat. I mean, everyone, all of us know. I really like Philadelphia. Not like them. Like I like them coming out of the East. I mean, like I like them as a team. I do think I have them coming out of the East. Like I think Brooklyn stands no chance. And you guys, I'm not going to talk about Brooklyn. I'll just like separately. I'll just talk about it now. Brooklyn. You guys talk about Lakers injuries. I think the Nets have much more concern regarding their injuries. Kevin Durant is crippled. He's played like 10 games this season. James Harden's out. I don't even know what the fuck he's doing. Probably like going to strip clubs in Miami. Kyrie Irving plays half the time. The other half the time he's gone doing random shit. So I don't even know. I don't know how people. I don't think the Nets have motivation to even get to the finals. I think the Sixers will definitely slaughter them. I think.
Difference is, I mentioned the Lakers injuries because I thought they rushed back. Nets are putting their players out until it's appropriate for them to come back.
Well,
I think it was too soon for AD to come back. That's what I'm saying.
AD was out for 9 weeks, so he didn't tear any. LeBron's definitely not gonna come back too early, but like we'll find out about that eventually. But yeah, I think I have Philly. I definitely have Philly coming out of the East. I think it's me Lakers Philly finals. Lakers are gonna win. But like everyone has their own opinion, right? But Philly's a really good team. They're definitely contenders.
Is it my turn? It is. I think I'm gonna earn a chew out from Ip today. The Sixers are pretenders. You want to go ahead? You want to go ahead, Ip, and start chewing me out? I'll let you go and talk right now.
No, I'm
I
going
just-
last. I want to hear you and Hudson and Suhas possibly embarrass themselves, and then I'll.
let me tell you something, okay? This is the fucking Philadelphia 76ers we're talking about, okay? This is the same 76ers. Okay, if you're not going to listen to it, I mean, like, I can just have my point, just sit there, and you can start chewing me out. Here's the thing, okay? This is the 76ers we're talking about. They pulled this shit every single fucking year, all right? They just do this every single year. I don't trust Ben Simmons in a half-court offense where you get stagnant. Ben Simmons is doing jack shit. Jack shit. I'm sorry. But Sixers are pretenders. They're gonna lose to the Celtics in the second round.
All right. Sorry, guys. Tejas, by that logic, you said they're like chokers, like historically, like they've been choking. But by that logic, Clippers shouldn't be contenders because they've choked a lot too. So your logic is flawed. Just gonna say that.
But this team itself has been choking. Okay,
I mean,
they choked to Boston 3 years ago. They've choked
3 years ago. What's more recent? 1 year, 2 years. Come on.
Whatever. They still choke all the damn time.
All right. Let's move on because we got to wrap this up. Sixers are contenders. The reason I'm not picking them as a favorite is Tobias Harris and all that. I don't really. He is there. If he is their shot creator down the stretch, and they're in fucking trouble because last year against the Celtics, he wasn't doing anything. They needed him to step up when Ben Simmons was out, and he didn't do shit. So Tobias Harris isn't that guy to me. Joel Embiid's gonna have to take that last shot down the stretch. But if they double team him, who are they giving the ball to? You want to give it to Danny Green? What happened last year? Tobias Harris is the X factor. Him and Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons will do his thing about facilitating and all that stuff. People want him to shoot jumpers. He's not shooting jumpers. He's gonna do what Ben Simmons does. Tobias Harris is the guy who's gonna make the Sixers a contender or not. And if he's on the same thing that he was last year, then they're not going to be coming out of the East. I think they have a good chance to beat some of these teams, like the Nets, but that's only if they get production from all their guys. You can't just have Embiid go off and nobody else help him because Ben Simmons isn't going to score the ball like that. He might against the Nets defense, but he's going to be their point guard. So they're going to need Tobias Harris to step up. So Tobias Harris is that guy that I'm going to want to step up. And if he doesn't step up, it's over with for them. As far as, making it to the finals. Listen.
Oh, I thought that it was all right. Yeah, the Sixers. I don't even know, honestly. I'm gonna say that they're contenders just from how Joel Embiid has been playing this season. But if they're without if they're without Joel Embiid or Ben Simmons, I can tell you it's over. Because they've both had some injuries this season. But if Joel Embiid can keep playing like how they're playing, it depends on who they play in the second round. And I think the first round should be an easy win. I'm guessing that they're going to play a team like the Pacers maybe as the 7th seed. But it all depends on who they play in the second round. And if they're playing the Celtics, I can guarantee that the Sixers are going to win because they have no center. So I definitely think that the Sixers have a chance. They can definitely beat the Nets. It all depends on how they can contain KD, Kyrie, and James Harden, of course. Offensively for the Sixers against the Nets, obviously they would destroy them. But defensively against the Nets, that might be where the problem comes in on their offensive end. So, yeah.
Finally time for me to get some words out of some meaning. So, TJS, your argument was so bad, there's nothing to even deconstruct. You just said they choked 3 years ago. Like, that was 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I was a virgin. Like, things change. You know what I mean? So let's look at the Sixers roster. Best perimeter defender in the NBA. One of the best interior defenders in the NBA. Matisse Thybulle, you guys know how much I love Matisse Thybulle. I'll give you guys benefit of the doubt, top 10 perimeter defender. If you look at that, and then you look at the Brooklyn Nets, Harden's a great player, Kyrie's a great player, Durant's a great player. What other team in the NBA is built to beat this team better than the Sixers. No one's guarding Ben on that team. Good luck guarding Joel with old dudes who peaked back in 2010, like DeAndre Jordan. The George Hill acquisition was exactly what this team needed. Tobias Harris, you back off to what you were saying, Suhas. He does need to step up. There are times at the starts of the fourth quarter and midway through the second where Embiid and Simmons are both off at the same time, and he's been playing some of his best basketball in the world. His post fadeaway, and I don't even know how to explain the shot, but this little like weird floater hook shot thing he does in the lane every time he shoots them, it feels like he goes in. I remember him turning the fuck up against the Lakers with those shots.
Hey,
in the fourth quarter.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I just need to see him do it in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. I need to see it too. Don't get me wrong. Like he didn't do shit last year. Like
He didn't. That's why I said it.
yeah, I agree with you on that. And then in regards to the Clippers and the Nets, in regards to the Clippers and the Sixers in the finals, that'll be a really fun series. That'll be entertaining basketball. But if it's Sixers-Lakers, it won't be entertaining because the Sixers will just repetitively fuck them up. Anthony Davis can't guard Joel.
Time for you to go to sleep.
We've seen that every time they play.
Shut the fuck up. Time for you to go to sleep, you fucking idiot.
Not time for you to go sleep and time for me to go have a fucking foursome.
with your dog, your cat, and your fish.
All right, we're cutting that out. Let's wrap up.
Lily.
We're wrapping up.
In conclusion, Sixers are the deepest team in the league. They're the best team in the league. They have the MVP. They have the defensive player of the year.
Your seventh man can't play offense for shit. I don't know what you mean by deepest team.
For your information, Anthony Davis was held to 23 points by Joel Embiid, while Joel Embiid gave him 28.
Wow. How about no? Let's see in the playoffs, man. Let's see what Joel Embiid's pussy ass does when he sees Anthony Davis fucking sauce him up in the playoffs.
Anthony Davis is literally Slender Man. He's not going to do anything on Joel. I would prefer to Anthony Davis to be guarding Joel over anyone on that team unless it's like a guard.
Bro, Andre Drummond is locking his ass up, bro. He's locking his ass up.
Drummond, I remember you saying in the group chat within 24 hours of how shitty Drummond is as a defender, and now you're saying he can guard the MVP?
Wait, I never said Andre Drummond can guard Jokic. When did I say that?
Jokic is a fucking gummy bear, fucking s'more-ass marshmallow, bro. He's not doing shit. I would have loved to see Embiid and Jokic play against each other, because we all would have seen Embiid drop his fucking career high against them. He can't...
Wait, what about Embiid's
not
career?
Jokic. Who's a better quarterback, Mahomes or Lamar? Obviously Mahomes. Why? Because Mahomes is the best quarterback.
What?
Now Joel
Okay.
is better than Jokic for the same reason. He's the best center. Jokic is good at being but is he a center? No. He's a tall back point guard.
Your argument is who's better? You're like, who's better? LeBron or Terry Rozier? Yeah, LeBron's better because he's better. That's literally what you're arguing. Your opinion. You're saying Joel Embiid's better than Jokic because he's better. That doesn't even make sense. That's exactly
all right, boys. We'll wrap up with that. We'll see y'all later with another brand new episode next week. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and comment on what you guys thought about this one. And as always, like I said, we'll see y'all later. Keep up with the NBA. The playoffs are coming around soon. And yeah, we'll see y'all later. As always, we're making for our NFL, if there are any NFL fans out there, we're going to be making an NFL mock draft. There's going to be kind of like a mix between basketball and football because we do have people interested in both. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be made very soon. I'll see y'all later as always.